This video is on the objective determine the best fit linear regression equation, right, or that best fit line or least squares regression equation, all the same thing, using technology and specifically a calculator, right, a TI-83 or 84. Now this is going to be the only video on this objective that I'm doing because you have seen me do this in many videos prior to this. I've done this several times now at this point. So I'm just going to put out the one more example of me, finding the best fit line for a bunch of pairs of data, a scatter plot, using the calculator. And if you'd like to go over how they're doing it again, I'm not going to show you this time. Just click on More Instruction, and look at their videos, their notes, their examples. Hopefully, all those help you. All right, so the question here is the data on the maximum height in feet and top speed in miles per hour of the 14 roller coasters are given below. I'll just say of 14 roller coasters. The 14 roller coasters. Just 14 roller coasters are given below. Use a calculator, all right, to find the equation of the regression line, using the maximum height as the independent variable, say x, and top speed as the dependent variable, call it y. Round the slope and intercept to 2 decimal places. All right. So again, this just involves entering lists of data, right? So I go stat, edit, and then down I got my cleared lists here. And down list L1, I'll enter my independent variable values, all these heights of the roller coasters, and then their corresponding speeds, top speeds, down list L2 for the values of the dependent variable, the y coordinates. All right, and so I got 456, and I'm going to just have it come back in a flash. I'm going to pause it on my end and enter this data because Lord knows you don't want to watch me just enter a bunch of data for a few minutes. So I'll be right back with all that filled in. Okay, so I'm back here and I've entered all 14 of these ordered pairs, corresponding to these 14 roller coasters, maximum heights and top speeds. All right, now before I actually get into the calculation of the best fit line, I'm going to take a look at a scatter plot for this data. So I go second, stat plot, plot 1, turn it on, make sure it's a scatter plot. The X list is down L1, the Y list is down L2. Just put whatever list you have those in. And I'll hit zoom, go number 9 for zoom stat. And here are the 14 ordered pairs. Now it does look pretty linear. Not exactly. I mean, you're not going to really ever have too many situations where all the points you're looking at fall in an exactly straight line. But it looks like there is definitely some sort of positive linear relationship between height and speed here. Looks like as the height increases, the speed is also tending to increase. So I'm going to say the value of r is going to be closer to 1 than it is to 0, right? Positive 1, because there's this it looks like there's a positive relationship here. And if the value, now we're not asked to calculate the value of r, right, the correlation coefficient. We're asked to find the slope and the y-intercept, but still, I think the slope is going to be some positive number here based on the look of this scatter plot. All right, so let's get out of here and actually calculate it. Have the calculator find that best fit line for us. So I hit stat, go over to calc, right? Number 4 is linear regression. My x coordinates are in list L1, my y coordinates are in list L2. And I calculate. And here we go. It is a positive slope. Right? Not very positive, but positive. A equals 0.134. Now they're having us round these to 2 decimal places, right? So slope is positive 0.13. And the y-intercept is 54.52. All right, now if you want to see this graph in action, let's go y equals, hit the and then y1 equals, hit the variables button, number 5 for statistics, over to the equations menu, and then regression equation, enter, and then graph. And look, you see that line come in? This is the best fitting line to this data. Okay. Well, anyway. Oh, I already forgot what those numbers were. Alright, so let me go back. I gotta recalculate. Alright, sorry. Stat, calc, number 4. Alright, so those numbers, the slope was 0.13, y-intercept 54.52 when rounded to 2 decimal places. So that's well entered. Now remember, the equation for the regression line started with y hat equals, so that way you don't confuse the y hat, with the actual values of the points on the scatter plot. Right, the actual y values are represented by y. The predicted y values from the regression line are represented by y hat. So yeah, so 0.13 for the slope, the number times x, and then 54.52 for the y-intercept. Right, and again, the heart of this problem, the part that's going to take the longest is the entering of the data and the lists. After that, the calculator does all the work. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. And again, you've seen me do this before with shorter lists in previous videos, but it was the same stuff, finding this regression equation, this linear regression equation. All right, and that's it. All right, so hopefully watching me do this here, reading the more instruction if you need to, looking at the answer explanations when they come up. Hopefully all this stuff helps you out when you are working on this material on your own. And thank you for watching.